Right now, live at 5, a changing of the guard. There's a new face in charge of the deck, what his plans are for the event center during a pandemic. And millions of students take a bus to school every year. Schools are coming up with creative ways to adhere to CDC guidelines and take orders. Plus, protests turn violent. A third night of unrest in Wisconsin leads to 2 people being killed and another injured.
We hear from Evelyn's mayor after he spoke at the Republican National Convention.
And in hockey country, a new outdoor rink could be coming to the area to complement the storied sheet of ice.
You're watching Live at 5 on Live Local CBS 3.
Welcome to the CBS 3 News Live at 5 as we take a look over Duluth from Spirit Mountain on this cloudy Wednesday. Today marks the 3rd day of the RNC, and Vice President Mike Pence will be the keynote speaker tonight. Meanwhile, yesterday, a local mayor spoke at the convention. Good evening, I'm Kristen Baki.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. In today's political climate, it's not often people, particularly politicians, throw their weight behind an elected official from the opposite party.
But that's what happened last night as Evelyn's mayor, Robert Vlasovich, a lifelong member of the Democratic Party, spoke at the Republican National Convention. He focused on mining and the Iron Range's economic struggles during the virtual address.
CBS 3's Emma Quinn today spoke with the Iron Range mayor about the experience.
Evelyn's mayor Robert Vlasovich was asked a week ago to speak at the Republican National Convention. It was an opportunity he says he couldn't pass up. Vlasovich says speaking at the RNC gave him a platform where he could share his thoughts that would reach more than just the Northland. He says he worked with a speechwriter and a media team from the RNC that came to Evelyn to record Vlasovich's speech on Sunday, as he didn't want to travel during the pandemic.
To get it on a grander scale like that, where you can get it out where everybody sees it at the same time, I thought it was a real good opportunity, and I was thankful for the opportunity.
Vlasovich said it was an honor to be asked to speak in support of the Trump campaign, as there are a limited amount of people given the opportunity. When it comes to the Iron Range's mining industries, Vlasovich says he does feel heard by the Trump administration.
Thanks, Emma. The mayor also supported President Trump's election bid in 2016. Tonight on the CBS 3 News at 6, we'll share more from the virtual address and have reaction from a political expert.
Former Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton is undergoing intensive physical therapy after slipping and falling in his kitchen earlier this month. In a Facebook post this morning, Dayton wrote he underwent surgery to relieve pressure from internal bleeding after hitting his head on August 4th. Dayton wrote he returned home on Tuesday after spending 2 weeks at Courage Kenny Rehabilitation Center. He said he's expecting several more months of outpatient rehab and is expected to make a full recovery. Dayton served as governor from 2011 to 2019.
The ESCO School Board voted Tuesday on their back-to-school plan for the fall. They approved a plan that includes hybrid learning for high school students and in-person learning for elementary students. High schoolers will be broken into 2 groups based on alphabetical order. We have more details about the plan on our website.
Police have arrested a teenager in connection to a shooting near a Black Lives Matter protest in Kenosha, Wisconsin last night.
2 people are dead and another is wounded. Chris Martinez has the latest.
Illinois police arrested 17-year-old Kyle Rittenhouse this morning in connection with last night's shooting during a protest in Kenosha.
A 17-year-old individual from Antioch, Illinois, was involved in the use of firearms to resolve whatever conflict was in place. The result of it was 2 people are dead.
Cell phone video appears to show a person with a semi-automatic rifle being chased by demonstrators. The video shows the gunman fell to the ground and started shooting. 2 people were killed, a 3rd wounded. The shooter then got up and started walking down the street as more gunshots rang out. He walked with his hands up towards police vehicles arriving on the scene.
Hey, he just shot them! Hey, dude right here just shot them!
The shooting happened during the 3rd night of unrest in Kenosha, just hours after Jacob Blake's mother called for peace.
As I was riding through here, through the city, I noticed a lot of damage. It doesn't reflect my son or my family.
Police used tear gas and rubber bullets on the crowd. The sheriff said armed people who he called a militia were patrolling the city's streets like a vigilante group. President Trump said he's sending federal officers to Kenosha, and the governor has deployed 500 additional members of the National Guard to help restore the peace. Police shot Jacob Blake in the back Sunday as he leaned into his minivan. His 3 young children were inside the vehicle. The 29-year-old's family says he may never be able to walk again.
The city's curfew will start an hour earlier tonight at 7 o'clock.
The Minneapolis Police Department announced an overhaul of its use of force policy, part of the ongoing reform process after the death of George Floyd. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey says the goal is to limit use of force to times when it is strictly necessary to keep people safe. The new policy requires officers to consider all reasonable alternatives before using force. They're also required to document the alternatives they considered. The policy redefines force to include things like unholstering a weapon or even just making threats.
By defining these as uses of force, officers will be expected to justify their actions. And if those actions are found to be in violation of this policy, disciplinary actions will be taken.
Frey says the new policy goes beyond state and federal requirements, setting a new standard for police conduct.
An absolutely historic day in sports as the Milwaukee Bucks take a stand against police brutality. For more, Kelly Hinseth is in the newsroom for us tonight. Kelly, what do you know?
Yeah, Tony, the Milwaukee Bucks were set to play Orlando in the deciding game of the first round of the Eastern Conference Finals, playoffs rather, but instead of continuing the pursuit for an NBA title, the Bucks decided to pursue something bigger. At 3:10 p.m., the Bucks and the Magic were slated to take the floor for tip-off when the Bucks never came out. The world learned that the team has decided to boycott Game 5. This is in response to the recent shooting of Jacob Blake in Kenosha, Wisconsin. The move by the Bucks did not stop there. Soon after, we learned that Game 5 between the Rockets and the Thunder would not be happening, as the teams made the decision to follow suit and sit out their games in protest. And it didn't take long for the NBA to act. The league postponed all 3 NBA games from the bubble today. They also said that all Game 5s would be rescheduled, although no date was given. Players will meet tonight in Orlando to discuss their next steps. And per the Wall Street Journal just a few minutes ago, we learned that the Milwaukee Brewers will not be playing their game against the Cincinnati Reds tonight either. Now, of course, this is developing, so we will have much more coming up tonight at 6. For now, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Kelly. Dave joins us now. Dave, just in time, and we just heard the rain start on the roof.
Yeah, we're still facing at least a 40% chance for the continuation of rain and thunderstorms till about 10 o'clock tonight in Minnesota, and maybe another 4 hours for Wisconsin and the UP. Okay. So with the music of the rhythm of the rain on the roof, we take a live look at just outside of our studio wall here in Canal Park, and yeah, the streets are getting wet, but luckily it's really just some showers coming down right now. We're not hearing big cracks of thunder. Still a slight threat for severe weather tonight, but hopefully that won't pay off as our twin low pressure systems continue to track through the area. Their warm fronts made it fairly warm and fairly humid here today, but higher pressure filtering in behind the lows by tomorrow will bring back the sun. So we fire up the day planner for Thursday, which says it should be mostly sunny to partly cloudy, mirroring much of the daylight time. But once you get back home tomorrow night, it'll already start to cloud up again because of another low pressure system that brings back a chance for sounds like these raindrops as early as Friday. We'll talk about what's to follow that for the weekend as well, coming up in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. Still to come on Live at 5. Despite COVID-19, the Bass Nation resumes its 2020 season today in Tower. Plus, how a group of volunteers is creating a new ice rink in Cloquet. City by City is up next.
And coming up on the CBS 3 News at 6, the latest details on yesterday's fire at a historic building in downtown Hibbing.
You're watching Live at 5 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live Local CBS 3. Watch Jeopardy at 4:30, followed by CBS 3 Live at 5 on Live Local CBS 3.
North. Over 30 years of service throughout northeastern Minnesota.
Being retired, I was looking for a little supplemental income. Access North offered the perfect solution with their homemaking services position. It's not only personally rewarding, helping other seniors and veterans, but it helps me stay active, the hours are flexible, and I can make some extra money too.
For more information about their homemaking services and other employment positions, call Access North, Center for Independent Living today.
Things are slowly starting to get back to normal, but our fight against COVID-19 isn't over yet. St. Luke's and Essentia Health are asking for your help. Whenever you will be around others who do not live with you, please wear a mask. This will help to protect everyone in our community. Masking continues to be one of the best defenses against the virus. Masks make a difference. On behalf of Essentia Health and St. Luke's, thank you.
I believe as long as I stay motivated and determined that I can do anything I put my mind to.
You guys are going to be going head to head.
We have put our blood, sweat, and tears into this for each other.
Only one team will win in the end. Let's cut it up. Give it everything you got.
It ain't over till it's over. Push through it.
Tough as nails. New episode tonight, 9/8 Central on CBS.
Mining. It's a part of Minnesota's history that affects everyone in the Northland still to this day. From environmental issues to economics and so much more. Join me, Kristen Baki, every Tuesday for Eye on Mining, a fair and unbiased report that answers the tough questions surrounding the world of mining.
Eye on Mining with Kristen Baki. Tuesdays at 10 only on live local CBS 3. Brought to you by Iron Mining Association.
Welcome back to the CBS 3 News Live at 5. Here's a live look towards Bayfield on this partly cloudy day out there. The rain is falling in Duluth. Will northwest Wisconsin see some? Stay tuned for Dave's full forecast coming up. But first, let's check in with Kristen to find out what's happening around the region.
From a group of volunteers creating a new ice rink to summer racing ramping up at the Hibbing Raceway, all that and more as we take you around the Northland city by city. Summer begins to wrap up across the region, so do summer activities such as the Wissota races at the Hibbing Raceway. In what seemed to be the theme of the second half of summer, the racers had to overcome inclement weather, which caused the racetrack to close for 2 hours. But all the race crews came together to get the track back into racing shape. By the end of the race, Hibbing's Tyler Kittner won 2020's overall points title. Despite COVID-19, the Bass Nation resumes its 2020 season today on Lake Vermilion. The tournament is hosted by Fortune Bay Resort Casino and will end on Friday. Bass officials said Lake Vermilion contains a large population of both smallmouth and largemouth bass, making it a great lake to hold a tournament. Well, for many years, Cloquet kids played hockey in the elements until about the 1960s, when volunteers came together to build an indoor rink known as the Barn. Now, in 2020, a large group of volunteers and businesses are coming together to create a quality outdoor rink to the Barn grounds. The goal of this new outdoor rink is simple: give kids more space to practice the sport they love. According to volunteers, the new outdoor rink will be bigger and better. If there's something going on in your neighborhood that you think we should know about, send us an email and it might be featured as we go around the Northland city by city.
Still to come, in spite of the coronavirus pandemic, some kids are still riding the bus to school. Stay tuned to find out the precautions that are being taken to keep children safe.
Well, we're getting rain around the head of the lakes here. Some towns, though, still holding on to a bluer sky. We'll point out who's who and how long the rain chances will last coming up right after our break.
They're live, they're local. Watch the CBS 3 News with Kristen Baki and Anthony Matt tonight at 6, right after the CBS Evening News at 5:30.
During the Labor Day sale at Home Furniture, everything's on sale, up to 30% off. Every sofa, sectional, and recliner. Get free no-contact shipping, plus no interest financing until 2024. The Labor Day sale, now at Home Furniture.
Mediacom's fiber-powered broadband network was built for the future, and it's in your community. Delivering gigabit speeds to every home and business we serve. We'll be one of the first in the nation to take you to 10G, making your community one of the fastest in the world. The foundation is in place, and MediaCom will be making way for brilliant possibilities, igniting economic development and lighting up communities nationwide.
Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The Subaru Outback is all new for 2020. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive plus up to 33 miles per gallon. An available 260 horsepower turbocharged engine, advanced technology, and an extra-large touchscreen. Welcome to the best Outback ever, the 2020 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you.
Lease a 2020 Subaru Outback during the Subaru A Lot to Love event going on now.
During our Labor Day sale at Home Seasonal Concepts, patio closeouts continue with year-end savings on everything patio up to 50% off. And now you can finance it with no interest until 2024. Plus, get free no-contact shipping. Labor Day patio closeouts, now at Home Seasonal Concepts.
Up to 60% off on summer clothing and footwear from the North Face and Columbia at Northwest Outlet.
When severe weather hits, tune to CBS 3.
Tonight at 10, we'll be out here in the storm.
For up-to-date coverage morning and night.
Stay away from here.
Live local weather coverage on CBS 3 Duluth. CBS 3 weather is brought to you by Stokey's Meat Market. Now, the CBS 3 Duluth Weather Max forecast with meteorologist Dave Anderson.
Our rain chance is paying off for the past 15 minutes or so here at the Twin Ports. This is a live look at what's right up behind this wall here, almost the perfect angle as well. And you can see Railroad Street is getting wet as these gray clouds drop their payload of rain upon the region. Precipitation is still possible for most towns here till about midnight tonight. 10 p.m. to midnight for Minnesota, and maybe midnight to 2 a.m. for Wisconsin and Michigan. Then tomorrow, a different style of weather's coming, at least for a few hours. We'll talk about the up and down and the seesaw effect of highs and lows coming up after we take a look, of course, at the current conditions, the here and now at Duluth International Airport. And here in Duluth, yeah, it's a gray sky out there, but we can still see some birds flying in the background. So I guess they're running on their instrument flight rules here today rather than visual flight rules, as the pilots know the difference between those two. Right now it's 81 degrees at the airport, so it's warm and it's humid at 72%. Winds going northwesterly 9 miles per hour, and our air pressure is fairly low at 29.72. And with two lows lifting up the atmosphere, that'll explain the pressure drop. Current temperatures, low 80s in the upper peninsula right now, and we're running 78 to 83 here in northwestern Wisconsin. Minnesota temperatures are as cool as 67 right by the lake near Grand Marais, and low to mid, even upper 70s for much of the rest of the Arrowhead here and towards Proctor. 81 degrees is the current temp. East central Minnesota, upper 70s. Eventually, we are going to cool down. Just a matter of days here. We'll be going from warmer than normal to cooler than normal, and I'll show you when with our 7-day forecast. But I'll show you the here and now with the Doppler map and with the twin lows coming through here. We had a round of rain come by earlier this morning, and now second go-rounds coming to town from the west, again associated with one low up this way and one down that way. And, well, once we get past midnight tonight, like I've been hinting at, the lows will go, one will fade away, one will get a little bit stronger, and higher pressure will settle in Thursday to bring some sun. So we'll have fair weather while folks on the Gulf Coast have foul weather. On one hand, though, good news for folks down around Texas and Louisiana, places like that. The M storm, Marco, has faded away, but Laura has been strengthening and could be a Category 4 hurricane tomorrow. So folks, of course, are getting ready down on the Gulf to ride this one out. Well, we're going to ride out our high pressure on Thursday, and that'll change over to a fresh low pressure system by Friday. So one day we get a sunny day, and then we're back towards a chance for showers and thunderstorms. Pretty much Friday night, and then weekend becomes fair again. So perhaps the timing is right. If we have to have a little bit of rain and a little bit of sun, we'll get the sun on the weekend. Tonight in Minnesota, we get low temps from 53 to 62 with a 40% storm chance. Folks in Wisconsin and Michigan get a 50% storm chance with their low temps pretty close to 60 degrees. And for tomorrow, Wisconsin, Michigan high temps should run 75 to 82 and partly cloudy during the daylight hours. Minnesotans will get the same deal. It's about 75 to 81 inland, lower 70s by the lake. And after one day of calmer weather, it could become a little bit more wild on Friday with a 60% chance for showers and storms. But that second storm system, Tony and Kristen, is going to pull temperatures down to the lower 70s, and maybe by Monday and Tuesday, only mid to upper 60s.
Hey, one more day of rain for a payoff like that on the weekend? I'm not going to complain
All
about
right.
that.
As long as you're happy with the trade, we'll sign the papers.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks, Dave. In a normal year, about 26 million children take a school bus. But during the coronavirus pandemic, schools are scrambling to create plans to bring kids to and from class safely.
Options for social distancing on buses are limited, and there was a shortage of drivers even before the pandemic. Chris Van Cleve reports.
Okay, CJ, come on up, sweet girl.
The first day of school
We gotta keep our masks on, okay?
brought some big changes to Gracie Duncan's school bus.
Okay, James, it's a little different this year, so what I'm gonna get you to do is go all the way to the back, to the rocking R with the A, okay?
The handful of students who climbed aboard must wear masks and go to assigned distanced seats marked with the school's logo, filling the bus from back to front.
Here in Radford, Virginia, the biggest difference students will notice, the bus capacity capped at 1/3, and they're going to be staggered to promote distancing.
Duncan's bus seats up to 64, but this year will have no more than 20, and the windows will be down to increase ventilation. A survey of district parents found only about 25% say they'd let their kids take the bus this year.
I've been in education. This is my 30th year. This is absolutely the hardest thing that we've had to do.
Rob Graham is the Radford superintendent.
Why not cancel bus service? Why not just go virtual and not introduce this risk?
There is a risk, and we've tried to make it as low as possible.
Radford schools followed CDC recommendations suggesting facial coverings, driving with the windows open, at least once a day cleaning to disinfect buses, and creating distance between students, including seating children, at least one student per row facing forward and skipping rows between students. But in Georgia, where COVID cases have soared, Commerce City Superintendent Joy Tolbert says some of those CDC recommendations just aren't practical.
We do not have students situated so they're sitting every other seat. We do have students in every seat on the bus.
Social distancing options remain limited, and the district can't use its extra buses because it lacks additional drivers.
There is a shortage of bus drivers, and that was even the case before the coronavirus.
Both districts have overhauled how they clean. Using electrostatic foggers, the buses are disinfected daily. And between trips, the drivers clean again, making sure to wipe down all touch surfaces.
It made me realize, why haven't we always done this during flu season? So I do see this as being the new normal.
Neither department had any drivers opt out. In Radford, Gracie Duncan says she's happy to be back behind the wheel.
I'll be wearing my mask, the kids will be wearing theirs, we're washing hands, we're sanitizing. I'm feeling really optimistic about getting back to it and being able to do this and keep these kids safe.
And keep the wheels on her bus, headed for class.
Still to come, DEC officials held a meeting earlier today discussing things such as a new interim executive director and how they plan to operate. Stay tuned, we'll break it down next.
Whether you want to stock up on jerky or grab some ribeyes for dinner, you will find quality products at Stokey's Meat Market. We have been delivering quality meat and deli items for the past 15 years, and we take pride in being the best choice in the area with the freshest products. Stop by either our Duluth or Hermantown location today to peruse our massive selection of chicken, sausage, and beef. And make sure to visit us online at StokeysMeatMarket.com to check out our weekly specials. Stokey's Meat Market, where quality and freshness come first.
For months, we've all done our best to stay safe. But to remain safe in the long run, it's up to us all to take actions that don't just slow the spread of COVID, but collectively overcome it. Like getting a test if you have any symptoms, answering if your health department calls, and wearing a mask in public spaces. We all want to regain what we love in life. To get there, we all need to go forward and do our part.
You work hard for your money and deserve to see it go the extra mile. Join us Wednesday mornings and hear from local experts on tips to better manage your finances in Eye on Money on live local CBS 3. Brought to you by MPPL Financial.
Duluth's downtown waterfront district is the heart of our community. So many of the things we love about Duluth can be found right here, from businesses to attractions. And now, Most of them are open and working hard so you can safely enjoy them. Our local restaurants, breweries, shops, salons, and attractions help weave the unique fabric of our community. They make us stand out. And when you support them, your dollars stay in our community, helping to boost our economy. Show your love for Duluth's local businesses. We can't wait to see you.
Vaping has been declared a national epidemic among youth. 1 in 3 high schoolers vape in northeastern Minnesota.
My child started having seizures from vaping. There's still so many unknown chemicals.
One vape cartridge has as much nicotine as at least 2 packs of cigarettes.
My child was hospitalized with severe lung injuries.
They said it was no big deal.
My child said it was no risk.
That it was under control.
That's what my child said. But what could I have said? Get the facts and talk to your child today.
Mariah Haberman here from Discover Wisconsin. Join me and the rest of the DW crew every week on this station for all things Wisconsin. Continue the adventure on social media and discoverwisconsin.com for behind-the-scenes content and great Wisconsin giveaways, including a chance to win a free vacation. This week's featured prize package could take you to Ripon. Just visit discoverwisconsin.com for details.
Fire threatens everything in its path. When it threatens our communities, we respond. We bring the fight to the front line. The Army National Guard stands ready because sometimes the front lines are in our own backyard. We will always be there when our community needs us the most. Find out more about serving your community part-time by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Watch Dave, Caitlin, and Austin for local weather you can trust on CBS.
After saying goodbye to their old leader, the DEC has appointed a new interim executive director. During a virtual meeting with the board of directors this morning, Roger Reinert has been selected to take over for Shelley Townsend. Reinert is a former Duluth City Councilor, Minnesota State House and Senate member, and a current member of the U.S. Navy Reserve. As he leaves his former position on the board, Reinert is hoping to lead the group through financial difficulties.
This is probably the DEC's most critical hour in its entire history, and I'm excited to be able to bring to the DEC and to the team that we have here my experiences in crisis management, in communications, government affairs, and my background as a lawyer to try and help navigate these next few months.
The board of directors will now work with Duluth Mayor Emily Larson to fill the open board position.
At the same meeting, DEC leaders provided an update on their operations as they make their way through COVID-19 struggles. According to the Director of Operations for Amsoil Arena and Bayfront Festival Park, ticket sales are doing better than expected on the Irvin. The team has also sold out all of their movies in the parking lot events. As for what comes next, they may implement a COVID-19 testing site, turn a convention center into a daycare for families, and possibly turn Bentleyville into a drive-through this year.
There was a potential threat for Bentleyville leaving the Bayfront and Canal Park Business District and heading to Indian Point Campground. If we figured out a way to do a drive-through, Bentleyville will remain in Bayfront for this winter.
However, Bentleyville's executive director told us they are still considering a wide variety of options, but they will inform us if they're doing anything in this challenging year.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, the urgent warning tonight, Hurricane Laura expected to be an extremely dangerous Category 4 storm with unsurvivable storm surge when it reaches the Gulf Coast tonight. What Texas and Louisiana are doing to save lives. Plus, 2 people in Kenosha, Wisconsin are dead after last night's protests. What we know about the 17-year-old suspect. And on Women's Equality Day, this astronaut is blasting off into the history books as the first black woman crew member on the space station. That and more tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Change the future of medicine from the convenience of home. Join the All of Us research program to help improve health research and speed up medical breakthroughs. Visit essentialhealth.org/allofus to learn more.
For a limited time at home, get king mattresses or bedroom suites for the price of a queen. This king Euro top mattress is queen priced at $499. Save $800 on this king Mica bedroom suite with no interest financing until 2024 and free no contact shipping. King for the price of a queen at home.
I've got one for you. See?
UCare, health plan demystifiers and sleeve roller uppers.
UCare, health plan demystifiers and sleeve roller uppers.
Sounds so good when you say it. 96% of all providers accept UCare because they rock so hard.
96% of all providers accept UCare because they ride so hard. Can we pull over?
What's our tagline?
UCare people-powered health plan.
So good.
Coming up tonight, we hear from Evelyn's mayor after he spoke at the Republican National Convention.
State officials made a stop in Duluth today to learn about how the pandemic has made an impact on local businesses.
Tonight at 6.
Coming up Wednesday on CBS 3 this morning, tips from local financial experts to help you out. It's our weekly Eye on Money segment.
And we are looking at the potential of seeing some thunderstorms across the area, a few strong to even severe. We'll take a look at that.
So wake up with us starting at 5 a.m.
We look to our local radio and TV broadcasters to be there for us, and we're honored to be recognized for our service to the Northland. Join host Tamron Hall, along with some of the biggest names of the entertainment field, for a special event, the Celebration of Service to America Awards. Tune in Saturday at 7 on Live Local CBS 3.
It's BOGO time. Buy one rug at sale price and get another rug free at Home World Rugs. Mix and match from over 30 patterns and up to 11 sizes. Rug experts in every showroom can help you find the perfect rug. Buy one, get one rug free. Now in all home furniture locations.
Men's wardrobe provided by Mainstream Fashions for Men. Mainstream is your wedding headquarters. Downtown Duluth.
Here's a quick recap of tonight's top story. In today's political climate, it's not often people, particularly politicians, throw their weight behind an elected official from the opposite party, but that's what happened last night when Evelyn's mayor spoke at the RNC. We'll have much more on this story tonight at 6.
That's your news at 5. The CBS Evening News is up next.
We'll see you again at 6 o'clock.